work, life, and leisure. How did a man learn to work? How did the lifestyle of the people change? And leisurely, how the game pattern, how did the new aspects, new attitudes, how to pass the time with a happy mood, all these things have come in to the lifestyle of the human beings. In the modern days, we generally find that people are always habituated of their work culture, of their lifestyle, and then their spending of the leisure time. But this pattern has got developed only in the past 200 years. So what happened in the past 200 years? The past 200 years was the growth of the cities in the contemporary world. The present world what we are looking of is the growth of the cities which we have today. And now, as in the initial phase of the lesson, we have the introduction of the lesson given by a person, writer especially from India. In 1880, he wrote a book. The writer name is Durga Charan Rai. Durga Charan Rai writes a book naming like Devnagar Mariti Agaman. Devnagar Mariti Agaman. Devganar Mariti Agaman. This is a Bengali word which means that the God visits earth. This is an illusion story, like how Plato used to write, imagining how he want the earth to be, how he want the Greek city states to be. In the same manner, we have Durga Charan Rai writing with the utopian ideology of, if suppose God visits the earth like Brahma, what would he feel looking at the modern city? That's what he want to bring out in his writing. He want to focus on the latest updates which happened by that time, not till date. By that time means the later part of the 19th century, how the cities got transformed or how the person's life got mixed with the society, how the attitudes got changed. All these things he want to analyze and he want to bring it to our notice. Now let us see what did he want to bring it to our focus of attention. He, in his book of God Visits the Earth, he is taking the god Brahma, the creator. According to the Hindu mythology, there is a significant place for the Lord Brahma. So if Brahma comes to earth, he is accompanied by one of his friends. His name is Varuna, or the rain god. So Brahma is not coming alone. Brahma is coming with one of his close friends, the rain god Varuna. So when Varuna and Brahma are coming, they boarded a train. So you cannot ask me a question like, how can Brahma and Varuna are boarding a train? They will be coming from the heaven, so how can they board a train? This is just an utopian story where you cannot check the facts, like if I want to travel from one place to another place, I need to take a ticket, I need to board into the train, all these things. So these all things are not necessary and mandatory when we are writing a story, that too on an utopian basis. Here, when Brahma the creator and his friend Varuna both are traveling in a train, they were first of all astonished and shocked looking at the large size of a train. A moving house, they called it as a moving house because it's like a house where you can do everything and you can be moving, you can be eating, you can be sitting, you can be sleeping. So somehow that was astonishing for them by that time. And they were also astonished looking at the growth of the factories, industries, and they were also looking at the marvelous metropolis buildings, the museum buildings, the high court buildings, the administrative buildings, then moving on to the houses of the viceroys, and all these things gave a significant picture for them that Kolkata during that period was really a very fast upgrading city, a very well planned city, and it has seen its rapid growth in a very short span, as it was initiated by the Britishers, as it was for the long time run as an administrative capital of the Britishers. So during that period, they also have seen that Kolkata is a place where you have full of opportunities for the people to work. It's a possibility for the people to come here and to earn a livelihood. And they also were very much interested because looking at the availability of the items at very less cost. The writer also puts a point saying that Brahma was so much inspired with the less prices that he want to get down and he also want to purchase a pair of shoes. Then you may get a question like, how did Brahma know about the currency of India? He is coming from somewhere else. That's what I told before. It is an utopian story. It is an imaginary story. It is not compulsory that whatever you get in the story, it should be in the real life. It is a story. So please remember that point. So Brahma was also inspired by the availability of the products at very less cost. And then they were also astonishingly fact that there were no social barriers. There were no caste barriers. There were no religious boundaries for the people. Earlier we used to consider that there were social boundaries for the people. There were religious boundaries which are like watertight compartments where people will never used to cross these boundaries. But in cities, when we get people migrated from various corners to that particular place, there is no possibility of having close links with the same categories of people, let it may be the caste, religion or any other correlational points what they would like to have in the societies. So it did not give any possibility for the growth of caste system in the cities or growth of religious communities on a larger scale in the cities. It is only the human beings who interacted, leaving about all the distinctions and the biases aside and focusing on their targets of doing their jobs, getting their incomes, feeding their families. Their intention was only to earn something and to feed their families happily because they migrated from the far off villages or the towns where it was very difficult for them to earn their living. So that's how he want to bring out the point that in Kolkata we have a drastic change when it was compared prior to this movement and after the industrialization process happened. You may get a doubt, sir, today in modernization we have lot of history for modernization. We have seen the history of development of the England cities. We have seen the development of various other cities. So then how can we trace it only from 1880s and all? The development may be very fast in the West. It may be growing very soon in the West. The adoption levels of the people in the West may be very fast. But when it comes to India, it started only in the later part of the 19th century and Kolkata was somehow very far in approaching and getting that advances towards its reach because of the British rule during that time. Kolkata was developed in a very larger scale. Now I am calling it Kolkata, but earlier in your textbooks you may get it named as Calcutta. So Calcutta was far developed during that period. I am not saying today it is developed. It is developed only during that period of time. It was far well developed. Today you may get development well in Mumbai, well you get in Chennai, you may get in Hyderabad also. But during that period the development when it is compared to the cities like Bombay or Mumbai, then Chennai, then Hyderabad, it was very less. They are in far advanced when compared to this one. And here in this unit we will try to study and understand how did the industrialization process happen, how was it initiated, what were the initial troubles faced by the people. We shall take two case studies, one in the West, one in our own country, and so that we can understand the exact process and the development stages of industrialization in the West and in India.
If you like this video, please give a thumbs up. Please subscribe to our channel to get more videos on CBSE syllabus.